another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.
Welcome back, y'all. Part 2, like we told y'all. We getting right back into it, y'all. He needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one. He the king coach.
In case they missed last week. Matter of fact, you should go back and watch it.
Yeah. Oh, true.
If you're watching this
True.
episode, you just found out about the podcast, or maybe you, trust me,
Facts.
go to the previous episode from last week, watch that one, because this is part 2 from that.
Yeah.
So don't play yourself.
Facts.
This is going to be 5 too.
Facts.
But you definitely want to catch the first half of this interview and then come back to this one. Go ahead, bro.
He ain't lying. Y'all, you set the groundwork already, but you was already talking about and diving into something. Can you finish where you were from part 1? You was already breaking it down, and I know we had to cut you off.
Yeah, Chris asked a great question, like, where do you get this spiritual base from?
There it is.
Right? And I was telling her, like, it's very frustrating, separate of understanding the substance that I've been able to gather since 16, but seeing adults, knowing that people want love, knowing people really, deep down, like if you get up all these frills and thrills, you want marriage. You want somebody to just one-on-one, y'all be together and raise a family. Like, don't miss me with all the other energy because the world has influenced you.
Bro, that's a fact.
But deep down, take all that influence and narratives and social settings that people that pressured you to accept because that's cool to accept.
Wow.
But just the deep, pure heart of you as a human. When you fully grow up as an adult, past 20, you got to be past 25. Once you pass 25, you start saying, look, bro, I really want the simple thing. Like deep down, I want the simple things in life. Right. So for me to see a bunch of adults struggle, knowing that you want those simple things because they lack in substantive information and value. Because like I said, I'm making decisions now that has nothing. So I'm in the now, but my decisions is based on 20 years from now.
Wow.
So I'm in the now, but I'm not making no decisions off, my emotional state, because I understand like my patriarchal position is not to be controlling, but to provide a foundation. Is not to have clout and status and tell everybody that I'm in charge, but it's to serve and surrender to show what sacrifice looks like. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Ed Millett says something powerful that I really shout out to my wife. Pain is temporary, right? And a lot of us make decisions because we're in pain, but suffering is a choice. And I want to make sure that people understand you make a decision in your pain and then decided to stay suffering in it. That's something that's a psychological warfare. But when you know who you is in God, right, you understand that he prepared to take on your burdens, but also your pain, right? And so when I pass that to him, it allows me to be so present so I can stay focused on making decisions not attached to my emotional state.
That makes so much sense. Chris, you got a way of making complex, astronomical type stuff seem simple. Like, bro, you've said so much, and I'm just trying to I'm trying to categorize it all on how I wanna bring it back out. But you just said you had to find out where you were with God, almost like you had to let him. It's basically internal work.
Yeah, and as his alignment with God, there was an alignment with his wife. And I really want you to lean in more into that because we've had conversations of some of those breakthroughs, and now the season that y'all are in now. Yeah, and I really believe, because you said this, that God had to get y'all in a certain place to prepare you for this role in this position. Because had y'all come into this position,
oh heck no,
4 years ago, y'all wouldn't have been ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my wife, she married the man, but she also married the boy. So what happened a lot of times in my public persona would be a man, but my private struggles would be the boy.
You gave levels of a man. Can you remember what level you were at this time? Because you gave specific
level
things.
Level 3, level 2.
Okay, so 2 or 3.
Yeah,
okay.
But privately I could be a 1 and a 2.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So her frustration was I thought I bought something, you know what I mean? And then because of my insecurities, my Superman complex kicked in. So now I'm trying to prove my value to her by working. I'm trying to prove my value by my bedroom. I'm trying to prove my value by look what we got, look what I did. And really, it's not about the awards. It's about her acknowledging it, right? Which really is an issue of the boy never being addressed and getting healed from that. So she had to deal with that for years. So first, I apologized to her during the pandemic. I said, I apologize for being the Superman complex and making you think that I was going to solve your problems, making you think I was going to always be there. Like, those are lies. But we'll tell somebody, because I love you, I'm going to always be there. I'm going to solve all. No, God is. The only commitment that she can bank on for me is that I'm going to be there till the day I die. Everything else is an unrealistic expectation, which creates energy and frustration because you're like, I thought you was going to. So it ain't that I'm not here. It ain't that I'm not committed. You are mentally tied to an expectation that I subconsciously gave to you in the first place. Because I was posturing as if I was that when deep down I'm just a human.
Wow.
So now you never love the human because you want to love the imposter that I gave you. So now you fell in love with the imposter, but the human's being neglected because I never portrayed that. So for the first time after almost 20 years with my wife, she's loving the human now.
So you think that's why a lot of marriages fail is because of the imposter?
Oh, heck yeah, man. That Superman complex and that imposter syndrome. Like, I do this and I do this and I do this and she still ain't giving me none. I'm still being disrespected. I'm still. And it's like the fact that you even have the energy that you feel like you have to do that. You know what I mean? You ain't started from home base yet. Like, I am who I am. I just need to, like, I tell anybody, whenever you have to perform from a relationship perspective, it's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to convince your mama to be your mama.
Right.
Like, mom, when I get this type of job, then you really go be my mama.
Nah.
Your mama don't care what you do. She go be, your child don't have to do, like, if you go to this school, I'm really gonna be your daddy then. Like, you my son. Like, you my daughter. Like, a healthy relationship don't need no explanation. In a marriage, I'm justifying what I'm doing and not doing based on what I'm getting and not getting.
Yeah.
And the conundrum is your vow was to serve, not to get.
Wow.
That part.
So you frustrated that you're not getting something when your commitment was to serve without getting anything.
Yeah.
See,
Okay, so
how do you, are you on the relationship stuff still? Because I am.
yeah.
I am.
I was gonna ask. So whose job was it to heal that broken boy?
It's the person. And thank God for my wife's grace and mercy to stand in the gap, to wait long enough till God does the cleaning process through me. That's why I love her so much. I don't love her because of her role and her. I love her because she waited.
Wow.
Because that's a choice.
It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
So
Chris think he talking to millions of people. You talking to me. You feel me?
Right.
Bro, you said one thing. And I don't even remember which episode it was because everything is coming together for me right now. But this dude said everybody wants to be married. Bro, and then when you said that, I thought to myself, and I was just like, bro, like, I have become so okay without the idea of looking forward to marriage because I refuse to live in the concept of marriage the way I've seen people unhappy.
That's what's messing you up.
And so when you said everybody wants, I was
That's
like, you know
what's messing you up.
I do want to be married,
But I don't
I'm not willing to settle though. And so when you say it, I'm just like, yo, like I can get excited about doing it the right way because it exists.
So the reason why I have to do it and be bossy in what it is with my wife to show people it's possible.
What do you mean be bossy?
With the marriage in the sense of I'm loving her, she loving me, that we're going to endure, that we're going to support each other, that I'm a serve and support her career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people need to see it. Like it's cool to say it.
Yes.
It's cool to talk about it, but what really is going to move somebody to say, okay, I'm going to hang in there because I know my bro.
Yeah.
And I know what he endured.
Facts.
And I know what she endured.
Yeah.
And they still got, look what they got. Cause me and my, and I said this, me and my wife, we left my daughter's rites of passage. And we both was in the car and we had a subconscious look on us like, man, shame on us.
What does that mean?
In the sense that everybody else is like blown away by the experience. And so is we. But we know the 15-year journey to get to that point. Okay. We know what we could have said and we could have did. We know what we said and what we did that could have killed my daughter's moment. Wow. You know what I mean? Because it could have been 3 households, 2 households.
Oh,
but
you
it was,
mean it in Bermuda?
No.
Wait, I'm
okay.
lost.
So my daughter had a 15-year rites of passage. When I cut my daughter's umbilical cord, I took a cup and I washed the blood off of her and I hold it in my hand. Right? I was like, I want her in the same household like me,
Right.
her entire life. She's going to be knowing the same mom and daddy her entire life.
Oh.
Now, I said that, but I didn't know it was going to cost. So when me and my wife are looking at each other, everybody else looking at the moment, me and my wife are looking at the 15 years that we endured, that we could have sabotaged this moment at any time in the 15 years that we would have overly thought about ourselves.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So we was thanking God for his grace and mercy, but we also thank each other for our grace and mercy.
Yeah. Wow.
Because we gave each other grace and we gave each other mercy long enough so that my daughter can have a breakthrough.
Strong enough, long enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 What do y'all want to talk about?
So that's
Like-
the
like-
so
like-
that's the
like-
that's the but that's the
Good
type
God.
of leadership
This dude.
you know that we have, and that's why I feel like you guys had to get to a certain place and to a certain point, so that because that role is too important for y'all to be trying to figure things out. That role is the role that y'all are in now with us is too sacred. You know what I'm saying, for that, and God knew we really needed someone that was strong there that can enhance us. Because prior to that, it was us pouring into everybody else and us and trying to drag everybody. But it's like we got somebody else that's like, no, we can lift some of that on you too. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that part was needed. And it's like so many breaks. See, people listening, y'all are hearing what Crump is sharing, and y'all are hearing the depth, the knowledge, the insight. But you don't understand, like, when you sacrifice yourself and you humble yourself, you know what I'm saying?
For
you turn
years.
from your wicked ways. You make whatever adjustments, right? 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, "It is my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, fast, ask for forgiveness. Like, then I'll hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and heal their lands." But you got to make adjustments, turn from your ways. So he did that. And God is like, not only are you going to have a marriage that's fulfilling, but now you're going to be in a position, you know what I'm saying, where you can make a global impact, build wealth, and like do so many more things. And so you all are asking God like for more, and he's telling you these are some adjustments you got to make, whether you're in a relationship or not. Just know that when you make those necessary adjustments, he does things on his end. And so there are so many different levels to Crump's story. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to grow and work on my spirit, man, and work on my marriage. And as I do that, I'm also going to make the move to Atlanta. But I'm going to make sure I live around my boy within this vicinity. And then I'm going to humble myself and be like, bro, we should be working together. I don't really know what it looks like. But then it's like, hey, I see the issues and challenges y'all are having. Actually, my wife is perfect for that position. He wasn't like, hey, at that dinner, bro, you know, some of them, he was like, nah, that ain't my ministry.
No, that's not
But that's my wife.
She's behind the scenes.
And so he was like, man, boom, it needs to be her. But then even through that was just like, it's levels to it. And there's a lot of value that I can add there. And so which we extending him another opportunity. So he's an executive with the company, but also our officially like the Speakers Academy and our Speakers Elite program, he's the director. So he runs both of those programs fully. And it's been a blessing, bro.
You're a blessing. I want to speak to you. I want to help a couple things to even get back to this man of God and this leader is 3. One, God has a plan for us, right? We know that the plans that he has for us, but the devil only runs 3 plays. He runs the same 3 plays for centuries, and it trips up every man. Self-awareness, we talked about this in a previous podcast episode, allows you to at least address the weapons that's going to be used. The pride of life, right? Lust of the eye, and lust of the flesh. The devil don't have no more plays.
Lust of the eye is what?
Lust of the eye is I covet things.
Okay.
I gotta have these things, right? And these things validate me.
Okay.
So I'm constantly after things.
Okay.
That's lust of the eye. Lust of the flesh is I want that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Lust of the flesh. Pride of life is not me, or you ain't better than me, or it's about me. You know what I mean? Like stuck on me.
Got you.
So one of those plays, I'm gonna give you some game on this, is more prevalent to you than the other.
Okay.
So mine is pride of life.
Okay.
And my wife is lust of the flesh.
Okay.
So when you're aware of like which play really trips me up the most, then you know how to put the necessary interventions in place. You kind of ask, what's the strategy? I was able to put together a successful blueprint for one thing in life: professional basketball player. Sharecropper to professional basketball player, no AAU, no trainer. How do you do that?
Wow.
that reverse engineering process of all those little things where I studied the local greats, I worked on my craft in the dark, I read this, I studied this guy, studied this guy, studied this guy, work, separate of what the job required me to do. So whenever I wanted to be a husband, who's in the Husband Hall of Fame, who's the local husband goats, let me study them. Let me work on being a husband in the dark. So when it was time to show up to my wife to be a husband, bang, I hit a home run. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so because I had that success ingredient formula, I just reverse engineer and use that in anything in my life to be successful.
Can you help me find out which one is mine?
As far as which play that the devil trips you up
Yeah,
on?
so it's 3 of them.
It's 3 of us. He run the same 3 plays.
Pride of life. I don't
Lust of the flesh.
I don't
lust of the eye.
Okay.
And the pride of life.
I don't covet much. Like I love who I am and I'm chill. Like I don't envy a lot. I love me, but I'm messed up. Does that make sense? Like I know I need work, but I don't want to be nobody else. Like whatever God got work for me to do, I want to do this. I want to do the homework here. I don't want to do nobody else's thing. You know what I'm saying? How do I go about figuring it out? Because I know it's other people out there that's just like, okay, they may not be spiritual people, whatever. How do we figure out ourselves?
It could be external or internal. Like you could lust of the flesh to be lazy with your body.
Okay.
You could be lust. Say it's one level of lust that is external, that
Right.
you want sexual desires from
Okay.
another human being.
Right.
Another lust is that you just negligent of your temple.
Really?
Because you just want whatever to put in it. You want whatever to do to it, but you don't really
Like gluttony.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. What were you about
I was
to
gonna
say?
say, so I think it might be a little bit different. It's just
but
your cravings overpower, right?
Yeah.
Your desire
discipline.
But that's a fleshly. That's you're struggling with the point
We all
is,
have a spirit man in the flesh.
yeah, you're struggling.
What'd you
with
say, Jay?
We all have either you in the flesh or the spirit.
Okay.
So it might not be like he says, just like the lust or
like
internal.
sexually.
Yeah, yeah. It could just be, sometimes like your own desires as well.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So lust of the flesh is just in general.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
So
think
don't
that's
just categorize.
mine, yeah.
I'm just put it out there in general. A lot of men that I work with, they struggle sexually.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like in general, like you could think about it in one of those categories is in general the thing that trip you up.
I think that's dope because I feel like when you first said lust of the flesh, I was like, okay, cool, I'm cool on that. Until you start breaking down discipline. And I was just like, well, if lust of the flesh is not consistently based on something, you know what I'm saying? Like, then on one thing, let me say that, then, okay, I can see where, okay, cool. Because I feel like it's easy to take things that I want to do over things that I need to do. Does that make sense?
And the best thing to do, how you guarantee success, is accountability. The best person I've seen in my life who died daily is Jeremy.
And it's funny because when he was talking, I was like, I know why he loved Chris. Chris is a you. Like, I'm listening to you talk, bro. Like, listen to, bro, where y'all came from. Y'all self-discipline yourself. Y'all all worked on it. Y'all each other. Look at these dudes looking like orange and green M&Ms. Like, look at them. Like, they are each other. Like, bro, like.
Pause a little bit, brother. Just, you're going a little too deep.
You go into a one.
I'm a grown man, dog. Hashtag, y'all, I'm a grown man, dog. Be careful. Respectfully.
But the respect is that me and Jeremy literally had a conversation this moment where I said, I can only talk to you the way I'm talking to you right now because your spirit is only the person that I know could handle what I'm about to say to you. And he received it. He was like, I got it. Because he knows what that means for me. So now he knows when we talking, we talking, but in the spirit, he knows where I'm at.
Got you.
And to be in full transparency, I don't want to make it seem like he just came on in this role, in this responsibility. Like, bro, we about to build something that's going to change the world and everything's going to be perfect. There was a few times that I reached out to you and kind of gave him almost like a way out, or just let him know, hey, in the future, if you decide 3 years from now when you blow up or things get or whatever, like if you ever decide that you want to be like that guy, like, or you want to transition, like, yo, I'm not trying to hold you back.
Right. And hashtag, I'm a grown man, huh? Go ahead, Chris. I'm a grown man, dog. What happened?
But it only came from, and I could say maybe not necessarily my brokenness, but I think it came from a place of I've been let down before. And sometimes things can be too good to be true. Yeah. And it's like, you see things and it's just like, all right. So I'm going to tell you, for instance, I'm going to give the example.
Right.
and then I'll let you speak from it. So we had an opportunity to do a TED Talk. And so I got invited to do a TED Talk in Miami, and we had 2 of our elite members to do the TED Talk. Okay. And so Chris was like, hey, I'm gonna do the TED Talk as well, and was willing to pay for his flight and willing to pay for the position. And so I was like, okay.
I did pay.
Yeah, you did pay, right. But even before you did, I was thinking like, man, that's gonna cost a couple $1,000. So I'm in my thoughts, I'm like, that's a big investment. It's like, I wonder if he like low-key, like, trying to work on his career. I was just like, so I was like, hey, bro, was that always been your desire to be a TEDx speaker? Like, he was
trying
like,
to fill him out?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Because I'm thinking, like, I knew it. I knew it. I'm like, that's my dog. I love him.
That's my guy, though.
But low key,
dang,
he probably want to be a speaker. Because he's like, I'm going to drop the bread. I'm about to go and do it too. So he was like, nah, that ain't always been my dream. It's always been my dream to be the best coach. He said, bro, what I look like being the director of the Next Level Speakers Academy, coaching all these people, but I ain't never did the TED Talk.
You know how to credit.
He's like, this is going to help me, credibility.
Yeah.
This is going to help me be sharper. I can teach from this.
Right.
This experience is going to help the community. I was like, oh, boy, you next level. Let's go.
Different.
You know what I'm
Different.
saying? But I
Which
had
is
a few
also-
moments
right.
over the past year where I was just like, hey, bro, something ever. And he was like, bro, miss me with all that sucker stuff.
Right.
love
Which is
it.
also, it speaks to you because you're not like, hey, why you didn't ask me? He's just like, I'm going to do it for myself. I'm not going to say Jeremy didn't ask me to be a part of this TED Talk, but I know this is something that I want for my credibility.
Right.
So I'm going to do it for myself.
Right.
And so that's
So again, making another investment in a sense in me
Right.
and what we built. That's why, hence when he came to Australia. He's like, bro, I'm about to drop my own bread, pay thousands of dollars to be there to support you in the best way. Bro, I'm about to drop more bread and go do this Miami thing so I can be there to support you to this TED Talk so I got more credibility to strengthen the program that you built.
It
Like,
helps
that's
you. It all helps you. Yeah.
different.
And then it was funny. It's like, and again, so I did the TED Talk. So me and Jeremy leave Miami. We're down waiting on the train together. He said, bro, but you could really have your own community, bro. Like if you really like, I want you to be clear.
This dude sounds like the Satan on the mountain. These stones will become bread, bro. If you just want to, like, just
He was like, bro, listen, bro. And he said, I won't feel. I'm telling you, bro, I won't feel no type
trying to
of.
let you go.
I said, Jay, do not ask me that no more, bro. Like I was like, I don't know what is in you, and I said, I don't know what dodo people you done dealt with. But bro,
He's like, it feels too good to be true. Hold on.
Every time he see every time he'll see me on the stage and he'll see do my thing, his mom would go like, yo, Crump.
Because he not a number 2.
yeah,
He a number 1.
yeah.
In the role of a number 2.
Yeah.
And so because of my own, I've been hearing other people and I know what people talk a good one and people change when the money come in.
You've never met another you. That's why this is all it comes down to. And you said last week about managing your expectations.
Right.
Jeremy's trying to manage your talk to me.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
No, let's bring it back. So my thing is like before I get too high, it's just like, hey, bro, if you decide in a few years that you want to go on and do your thing, like, bro, I'm not tripping. I ain't gonna never hold you back. And he was like, bro, if you disrespect me one more time,
facts,
and bring this up. So go ahead,
because
bro.
you're trying to give God enough respect, or actually you're disrespecting God, but you're trying to give him enough respect to be like, bro, we can still end this amicably before I fall in love with what God has already shown me he's going to do with you being here. And then I can't allow it to not affect our relationship because I've actually invested in you.
Right.
And Jeremy thought it was unfair of him to expect him out of you. Because what he holds himself to, a different standard, he didn't know you were capable of. Because he only held himself to that standard. But he didn't know that your whole life you have been doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and in the core of me and Jay, we brothers first.
Yeah.
I told him and my daughter, I said, bro, I had brothers for the first, I'll be 40 in March. First 40 years, I said, you my brother for the next 40. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, God bring people in your seat. I was like, I ain't even own a lot of this stuff. They be like, man, him and my wife, They in love with the work. I said, I ain't in love with no work. I'm not built like that. I'm not in love. I don't care what you call it next level. I don't care what you call it. I'm not in love with no work. I'm in love with the people. I'm in love with you. So like I said, bro, we could scratch all this and do something different. As long as me and you rocking together, I'm good.
Right.
Like,
I love it.
But I would never be in love with work. Praise
Right.
God, no. Hallelujah.
But also, right, I'll never be in love with work. But also, you're a man of the spirit, so I feel like no matter what happens, any move you're making is gonna come from God. Like it's not gonna be something you're doing from your own selfish desires. It's always gonna come from the spirit.
Here's the painful truth, bro. Here's the painful truth as a grown man. Half the stuff I don't even want to do. Half the stuff I gotta do, I don't even want to do. I don't like it. It don't feel good. It be lonely. Like people don't want to hear that part, but somebody gotta be a grown man, bro. Somebody gotta take care of this home. Like somebody gotta sacrifice. And the only problem is when it's not respected, when it's not, that is the only problem. When you see it, when you even see somebody trying, man, like, encourage that brother.
Yeah.
That's why I fight so much for men, especially if they out there trying, because I know they ain't there yet, because none of us are. That part, got unlisted expectations on people. But if I see you out there coming home every night and trying, yeah, I'm encouraging you, even if nobody else does, because I know what it's like to be a man and making all these sacrifices. And Father's Day come around, you got a card from Walgreens. That part.
Just like that. So one thing I know, about us, man, and so for this is for all of the people, because I feel in the spirit, man, this is some people that's watching and listening right now, and you wondering like, man, when am I going to have that type of support? So it's levels to it. Do you support yourself in that space? Right? Because before they made sacrifices, me and Tracy made sacrifices, right? So you can't expect a Chris and a Cole if you're not willing to do what a Jeremy and Tracy did. Like we walked away from six figures. We walked away from great jobs to build what we built today. Don't know how we got it to where we got it, right? And even before that, like there was a certain level of commitment, dedication, sacrifice, killing the flesh that I had to do, leading youth and young adults and church ministries out in communities, like blessing people. Like there's a certain level of consistency that I had to have for my wife to even say, you know what, I'm gonna quit my job and rock out with you. Because I told y'all before, there are the 5 love languages, but there's a 6th one, and it's called stability. And that's my wife's love language more than I feel than anything. So for her to walk away from her jobs or her careers, like it showed me like it's levels to it. So I just want our listeners to know, don't listen to our story, you know what I'm saying, and be like, man, I want to have that. You got to be that. You know what I'm saying? Don't say, man, I want to have a Chris or a Nicole. Be like, nah, I want to have the grit, the determination, the character that Jeremy, the faith that Tracy had, like that part. Because that's what that's what put us in a position where God was like, I'm going to bless you, you know what I'm saying, with people like this that's going to be able to take it to, because what you're praying for, you're really praying for Chris Nicole, you're really praying for Deanna, you're really praying for Stevana Jeremiah, you're really praying for Leslie and Sophie, like you're really praying for Ed and Ryan, you're praying for the whole team, but you got to be in a position to be able to even receive those blessings. And so to wrap it up, man, I would just share with you guys, like, what's your story going to be like? How is your story going to be told? Whether you on speaking, whether you on entrepreneurship, like just know when you're ready. This is what I know about God. God's going to give you everything you need to grow. But there was a certain point I had to grow the business to. It was a certain place that we had to take the organization to before God was like, okay, you've got, like literally me and Tracy have gone as far as we can. I feel dodo, bro, when I think back about how much I ran around at our first conference. I feel dodo to feel like, bro, what I look like going talking to the camera folks and trying to get this ready and that prepared, like, but I was just so used to doing so much. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do so that one day you can do what you want to do. And so I'm in a season now where things are different, but I just want our next level to know, like, sometimes you got to grow into that place and you got to grow into that opportunity to be able to have some other people come in and sacrifice. Everybody that starts rocking with us is a sacrifice. Deani, everybody that comes on, don't nobody come on over to the Jeremy Anderson group and things are super sweet right away. It's always going to be that growth, that sacrificial period. And it started with our first employee, Ebony. Right? Eb quit her job. and was like, and I know y'all can inform me, so don't even worry about paying me right now. God gonna provide. But when she said that, I was like, ooh, she just blessed us. I said, we just went into a spiritual realm. God is going to honor your faithfulness through us. I was like, yo, we about to be so blessed. Your heart is there to where you're like, yo, y'all need me full time. I'm sipping in my office trying to take calls. I'm about to quit this. Don't worry about paying me. I said, oh man, here come the overflow. I said, because God loves you so much, He's going to provide for you through us. That means there's more blessings going to come to us so we can get you right. So whenever somebody like Deani, it's just like, yep, I'm about to go in. I'm about to be tapped all the way in. And don't worry about boom, boom, boom. I just want to support. I just want to serve. And then they really show up and they phenomenal. I'm just like, okay, that's different right there. And it's because of those sacrifices, man, that just really keeps me grounded. You know, and when I want to be weak, bro, when I want to give into the flesh, like when I be tired, you know what I'm saying? And I be feeling empty, like it's those moments, man, I be thinking about y'all where I'm like, man, it's too many people depending on me. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. So I be needing that reminder sometimes, because sometimes that thing be getting heavy. And I be needing that reminder like, bruh, it ain't just you. You know what I'm saying? You got multiple families and households. And they children's children is depending on you, man. So, man, I love you, bro. Love Nick. Love the whole squad, man. And I'm just really humbled to be y'all's leader, man. But y'all make me want to be better. And I'm only going to get better because that's what next level living is all about, baby.